So last night's aurora, which I've only seen in other parts of the world that were far above this parallel. So to see this it felt like a once in a lifetime thing. Shout out to the geomagnetic solar storm that I believe is still ongoing. Just listening to the sound of the sky, right? The sound of the sky. I was wondering what that was. You could just hear it in the wind, and you could just hear that the winds were super strong above you, and they were like, the sky was divided into like 4 or 5 heavens. Under the firmament, of course, under the firmament. But it felt like you could at least see the top of the firmament, or the lid was removed. You know, like it was a dome game and they wanted to let some sun in. So they, in my Memphis bleak voice, remove the roof. They removed the roof. Yeah, I want to remove the roof. I want to do it safely though. Let's pray for a red light. I want to remove the roof. So in this dome, we got, you know, the awesome geostorm. And, you know, I was just stuck in awe a lot of times, even before I was able to see the northern lights last night. But just all during that day, it just felt real different. You could hear the roaring, raging winds above you though. But below you, on the level where we was at on the ground level, it wasn't windy. But above us, it seemed like it was windier and windier and windier. Like it was almost like at 15,000 feet and above, it was just a full-blown hurricane. You know what I mean? And then a couple thousand feet below that, just strong winds. A few hundred feet below that, you know, maybe a couple 100 miles an hour. Down to our level, barely a slight breeze, hardly any wind at all. It was interesting to see the way the clouds was moving. It felt like some clouds were rushing north, some clouds were rushing south, some layers were rushing east, some layers were rushing west. All kinds of sacred geometry symbols in the sky and archetypes. I saw a gun griffin, not a gun griffin, but a griffin. I saw a griffin with a yellow face and yellow wings. Like these were the images that the sky was forming, because the night before the aurora, the night before last, those clouds came, huge clouds, and with that came this huge lightning storm just in a pocket of cloud where the image of the griffin was. And then I also saw Isis. I also saw her image. And she was nestled against the evening star. Because from where I am, I can see, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's an arc for the sun. I don't know if it's a Hyperborean time clock. I don't know. But it's a dial. And for whatever reason, depending on where I'm facing, I can tell the time of the day, or I can tell the time of the night rather, because that's when this arc of stars are seen every night in my backyard. It's like I guess it's that part in the scriptures where it's talking about God spreading out the heavens like a tent, making it like a tabernacle for the sun. But I keep getting this alliteration every time I look out into nature that they're saying the sun, S-U-N, but they're talking about a type of human being. And I feel like it's all pointing to me as one of whatever this is, or the one, or whatever the case. Because all of the things happen every time I go outside. There's always two of the birds with the orange chest that always flank either side of me. Always doing like the Ark of the Covenant thing, where you have the 2 winged cherubs above the mercy seat. There's nowhere I can go outside anywhere without those 2 birds. I'm talking about even if I drive somewhere else, these birds would possibly, to a certain mileage, even fly to where I'm going, just so one can flank either side of me, almost like attendants. And I hear in certain communities, those might be familiars. If that's the case, I checked them out. They didn't seem to be, as far as what I was able to decipher in higher realms of consciousness. They didn't feel like familiars, but I still, kept my shield up, kept my force field shields. I kept those up, right? Shields. You know what I mean? Just in case. I won't underestimate, the powers of, whoever don't like me for real and how far they're willing to go. So I'm not going to leave that off the table. I'm going to continue to exercise all of the proper psychic safeguards against such attacks. So as this, we had thunderless lightning. There was no thunder, but the lightning went on for hours, constant. Like it wasn't lightning, like it was electricity, just beaming. It was like Ezekiel's vision. I saw beings inside of this brightly lit cloud with lightning shooting back and forth constantly, and there was no thunder, there was no sound, there wasn't even any rain, there wasn't even any other clouds in the sky at this point. It was just a collection of those, and I just couldn't stop wondering. I'm just one of those people that can't stop wondering. I can never let it go. All like phenomena and stuff like that. I can't let it go. I'm always thinking about it and lining it up with symbols and lessons I learned and sacred math and sacred geometry. And I want to understand what's going on. I want to know how to move out here. And so that's awesome, and I'm guessing that all of this is maybe part of the geomagnetic storm that's going on. I even like the sound of it, geomagnetic solar storm, right? Just calling it a geomagnetic solar storm, you understand, kind of promotes the flat earth thing if you really think about it. Because if anything is to be geocentric, then it can at the same time be heliocentric. So needless to say, I had to be in different parts of the world and travel in order to catch an aurora. And it was only like green and maybe blue. I was never able to get the rainbow that I got this time. It felt like a dream. I had to walk around the neighborhood to just get angles on this thing. And I refuse to pull out my phone. That's the thing about me that I like, and that's the thing about me that I don't like. Is that my respect for nature is so great that a lot of times I can't even bring myself to film it. I can't even bring myself to record it. Because I'm like, this is too holy, or it's too special, or it's too something. You know what I mean? I don't even want to disrespect this. And then sometimes, like, based on like a lot of my spirit work that I do, I'll be like, look, I don't want to mess around and, get struck or killed or something like that by something from in the sky or something, just holding a phone out or something, you know what I mean? Because these things, this is really starting to get cinematic. So I see this red light, doesn't look too unusual because we have, area there, property where a red light, there's at least one red light that can kind of shine and maybe cause some pinkish hue to dominate the evening overcast. This is a possibility. This is why I walked around and say, like, man, that light is unusually bright over there. It must be a party. It looked almost like, okay, on a cloudy night, misty night, there's tons of cars, all with their foot on the brake, on a hill. So I'm like, okay, that's what it must be. Let me go out and just peek and see that, okay, these are cars, it's Friday night. All right. But I saw something else. This red light started to stretch out. This is what a lot of people saw. You'll see the footage. This is all over the internet by now. The red light formed one column. When I saw it form a column, I thought a few things. I said, all right, well, I know that the holy city, this is the foundation of it. So if you should have a rainbow descend around you and surround you in that way, not a rainbow in the sky, a rainbow reaching from the sky to the ground, this really means in spiritual speak that the holy city has actually landed upon you. And not even so much landed upon you, but is a sign for you and those around you that you actually are in the holy city. You are in the New Jerusalem. The New Jerusalem, the gold city, right? The gold cube that descends out of the sky, right? When the new heavens and the new earth are in place, right? According to Revelation, if you're using the scriptures. And the beauty of it is these colors, because there was enough of them to point toward rainbow symbology. And I was just looking around in awe. It was just bright red. It looked like the sky was bleeding. And then I looked over, there was columns. Everywhere I looked, there was a different column of color. And you could see the streak. It came at an angle. And you know where those angles were, the rays? They were angled directly toward that star arc that I see every night. It was looking like something was either coming down to pass through there or going up to come through there, or coming out to go through there. The rays of all of the colors, even though there were tall columns surrounding me, red in front of me, yellow to this side, green to that side, orange to that side, huge, very discernible columns of color, and super vibrant, enough to even blot out the stars. The crescent moon just hung in the right hand corner to the right of the star dial, or the archway, or whatever this thing is. A clock. I feel like it's a clock, because like I said, it's dial shaped also. So these are the phenomenon, and the last thing I do want to say is the last thing I sensed before going in. It felt as if the colors in the rainbow were saying, "This is your world, T. Take it." So this is me doing that. Super T Sigma, Sigma programming. Stay illuminated, people. Bliss.